I'm Brandon Williamson with Porch Windows Direct. I'm here to talk about some troubleshooting tips for the Extend 4-track porch windows. The most common question we get from people is they look out into their porch and they see the top panel has come down a couple of inches from the top. Almost always that's because that top panel didn't get properly seated in to the top track. It actually has a locking mechanism where that top panel should actually snap or click and lock into that top track. And if that's done, it can't come down on its own. When bringing the panels up, if you do it from underneath the 4 panels together, you can feel and hear that top panel lock and snap into the top track. When that's fully in the track, as you can see, it can't come down on its own. It actually takes some pressure to unlock that and get it to come down. So don't be afraid to be too hard on them. It can withstand the pressure. It's made to really be able to push hard and lock that top panel into the top track. The next issue I want to talk about is either too loose or too tight for the operation of the panels. If they're feeling like they're too tight, maybe not sliding as well as they did when they were brand new, it's most likely that the tracks have gotten gummed up with some dirt and debris. And so simply taking a wet rag and cleaning those tracks out most likely is going to resolve that problem. I would not recommend using any type of lubricant in the track. I think cleaning the tracks out is going to be the best solution. If you add a lubricant, I've had it happen before where the panels got too loose then, and it's really, really difficult to try to undo that problem. So get those tracks nice and clean. That should resolve the problem for you. If the panels are too loose, most of the time that's going to be an installation related issue. There is one tip that we have. If you remove one of the panels and take this spring off, if you actually fold this spring in half, creating kind of a point on it, and then put that spring back on, that will add, that little point or hump in that spring actually adds a little bit more tension. But the underlying issue may still be there, that when they were installed, we might have had those frames kind of not pushed in as tight to each other, which is how you set the tension of those window panels. If we did the installation for you, we want to know that you're having that issue so we can send one of the guys out and adjust that. If you did the installation yourself, there's basically 2 ways of approaching that. One would be to tuck a shim in between the window frame and the post that it's attached to, essentially pinching those window frames tighter together, which will increase the tension in the windows. You can do that from the inside by tucking some shims, or you can go out to the outside and unscrew the screws that are at the installation screws through the window flanges, unscrew it, push those frames in tighter, and then re-screw it back in, and that should solve your problem. What you want is when these 4 panels are bunched together in the middle, they stay there. If they're sliding down on their own, the tension needs to be increased. There's some troubleshooting tips for the operation of the Extend 4-track porch windows.